Hey everybody, Dr. Mark Lance here. Welcome to Lead Like You Mean It. I'm so glad you're with us. It's Wednesday, 18th day of November. I trust you are doing well. And just thank you so much for taking some time to join us every Wednesday right here, 12 noon. We talk about life. We talk about leadership. We talk about influence. We talk about you. We talk about how to increase your leverage of influence and leadership in the world around you. And so I love these times together. So I appreciate it and just invite you to continue to invite others to join us every Wednesday at 12 o'clock as we talk about these relevant issues, and I pray that they're a blessing to you. So just, like this video, share it with your friends, make a comment, if you will, below how it is impacting you, and I pray that we can be a blessing in your leadership and in your life. So again, thank you for being with us. Hey, if you know me by now, you know that my passion, my purpose in life is to motivate as many people as I possibly can to reach their God-given potential. I want you to know you can become better than what you are right now. There are more people that you can touch. There are more goals that you can achieve. There are more projects that you can accomplish. There's just more that God has put inside of you than what you have achieved to this point in your life. And my purpose, and that's why I'm here today, every single Wednesday, as a matter of fact, is to inspire you. It's to try to motivate you. It's to try to get you out of a state of lethargy or complacency or feeling like you're stuck in your life or stuck in your leadership. And I want you to get up and I want you to realize there's more. There's more that God has put inside of you. There's more that you can achieve and accomplish in life. But here's the thing. No matter how much I believe in you, no matter how much I motivate you, you will never do anything of significance until you believe in yourself, until you're willing to motivate yourself, until you believe that you can achieve more, until you believe that you can become more. And so before we even dig into what I want to talk about today, none of this is going to matter until you believe in yourself, till you believe that you have been created by God to achieve great things in life. And so let's get that out of the way, okay? Come on, let's get it on the table right now. And let's say, I believe that I can get up from where I am and I can achieve so much more in life, okay? Because if you will do that, you are going to be able to move forward. There's got to be times you've got to be like David. Remember when the people were talking about stoning him? He'd come back to the city. The wives, the children were all gone. The Amalekites had invaded. I mean, he was at his lowest point. What does the Bible say? David encouraged himself in the Lord. Sometimes you're not going to get the pat on the back. You're not going to get the attaboy. You're not going to get somebody saying, hey, you did a great job today. You've got to encourage yourself. And this is what intentional leadership is all about. And basically, that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about intentional leadership. I want you to understand nothing is going to happen until you make it happen, until you become intentional. So, intentional leadership, and I want you to take some notes here, but think through this with me. Intentional leadership really comes down to the paradigm through which you look at yourself and you look at life. Now, paradigm is simply a scientific term. That's originally was a scientific term. But in the sense of leadership, here's the definition. Paradigm is the way that we see the world in our terms of perception, understanding, and interpretation. How do you see the world around you? How do you interpret the world around you? That is the paradigm in which you live. And your performance in leadership really is rooted in the paradigm through which you see the world. But here's the bottom line, and this is why I started off the way that I did about encouraging yourself and believing in yourself, because the paradigm through which the world, or you see the world, really comes down to the paradigm through which you see yourself. In fact, I don't believe, people see the world as it is. They see the world as they are. In other words, if you have a pessimistic view of yourself, most likely you're going to have a pessimistic view of the world. If you have an optimistic view of yourself, you're going to have an optimistic view of the world. Really, the paradigm through which you look at life and the paradigm through which you look at other people depends on the paradigm through which you look at yourself. So that's where you got to start. You've got to start with you. You've got to start with, how do I view myself? How do I view my influence? How do I view my leadership? And stop using the excuse of what's happened to you, because let's be honest, a lot of junk's happened to us, okay? Especially 2020. A lot of stuff has come down the pike. We've been having to navigate through this highway of 2020 with just trying to dodge a bunch of stuff. You've got to stop using that as an excuse, because that's not going to work anymore. Okay, you've got to come to the point where you decide, you are very intentional about the paradigm through which you look at yourself, because intentional leaders recognize that leadership starts from within. It starts from within. It starts from deep inside of you. Let me give you an example like this. Let's say, for example, you're in the city of Chicago and you're trying to find your way to a certain location in Chicago. All right, but instead of having a map of Chicago, somebody, and this is, let's take GPS out of the way. Somebody's given you a map of the city of Philadelphia. So here you are, you've got a map of Philadelphia, and you're trying to find yourself a location in Chicago. I don't care how great of an attitude you have. I don't care how hard you work. You can drive faster. You can be positive. You can have a great attitude. Changing what you do is not going to matter until you change the map that you're looking at. Understand that? Until you change the map, you're never going to find your destination. No matter how positive you are, no matter how hard you work, you've got to have the right map. That's what a paradigm is. A paradigm is the map by which you live your life. It is the map by which you treat other people. And until you change that map, I don't care how, many seminars you attend. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many things you change about what you do. Until you change who you are inside, you will never get to where you need to go. And so many leaders are spinning their wheels. They're kind of stuck in the mud because they keep trying to do different things. They keep trying to, better time management techniques, better influence techniques, better personality and, techniques. How can I start a business? 5 easy ways to change your personality. 10 easy steps to make $100,000. None of that is going to make any difference until you change who you are. That's the paradigm of leadership. That's what intentional leadership is about. Intentional leadership is not trying to lead others, it's trying to lead yourself. Because let's be honest, guys, you can't lead other people until you are first willing to lead yourself. And when you lead yourself well, and you lead yourself with a paradigm of integrity, then you're going to be able to lead others. Okay, so we're talking about looking at yourself and shifting that paradigm of leadership. Now, this is a journey I personally am on as well. And so I want to take you on this journey with me. So 3 things real quick that I want to share with you. How do you shift the paradigm through which you lead? How do you shift the paradigm through which you look at yourself? Number 1, you need to decide, first of all, who you are and what you stand for. Who you are and what do you stand for? Let me ask you this question. When you're gone, which there is going to come a time in life when we're going to take our exit off of this earth and go to heaven. When you're gone, what do you want people to say about you? Do you want them to say, I really respected this person, he really cared for us? Or do you simply want them to say he was a great worker? You've got to decide now what your legacy is going to be. You've got to decide now what it is that you want people to remember you as. And I want you to write those phrases down. I want you to write those characteristics down, because what you're doing is you are choosing now how you are going to not just live your life, but you're going to lead your life. Because again, I go back, you can't lead other people till you first lead yourself. And how to lead yourself is to decide, who are you? What is it that I stand for? What are the values that I stand for? And when you decide what that is, then you begin to lead yourself by those values. Now, once you've decided that, the second thing is this. Now identify the gaps between how you want to be perceived and how you're behaving right now. Okay, so this is where I am. This is how I'm living. These are the choices that I've made. Now, what is the gap between how I'm behaving and how I want people to remember me. Identify those gaps. And here's the thing, you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, you're not going to be honest with other people. Ask yourself, how am I viewing the world around me? How do I view the people that I'm leading? What needs to shift? What needs to change? What do I need to change between where I am and how I want people to remember me? Write those things down and then daily begin to implement that into your life. Daily begin to take the steps. And guys, it is a daily journey, okay? Leadership, it is not learned in a day. It is a long-term commitment. It is a long-term journey. So, number one, decide who you are. What do you stand for? Number two, identify the gaps between how you want to be perceived and how you're behaving right now. And number three, commit to closing those gaps. Close the gaps. Find some new voices speaking into your life. Find some new influences with which you surround yourself. And begin to close those gaps and begin to take daily steps of building the life that you want to be remembered as. Because again, the Bible said, teach us to number our days so that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. I think we all know we've got a limited amount of time on this earth. I've got a limited amount of days on this earth. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm making my days count. I'm not just counting the days, but I'm making the days count. Because there's some people that get up in the morning, they have no plan. They have no agenda. They have no goals. They have no values. They have nothing to live for. They're just counting the days. They're counting the days till they retire. They're counting the days till vacation. They're counting the days till whatever. Make the days count. That's what intentional living is all about. So I want you to begin right now to examine the paradigm through which you are leading and living. And the way to do that is to really look at how are you viewing the world? Do you have a pessimistic view of people? Are you critical of people? Are you finding fault with other people? Do you, if you're a leader in a company or a ministry, do you, I hate to use this word, but do you disrespect the people that are under you? If so, you're leading through the wrong paradigm. And disrespecting others really comes from a paradigm of disrespecting yourself. Being negative of others comes through a paradigm of being negative about yourself. And so this is where it begins. And what I pray for you today is that these simple thoughts of leadership, the paradigm of intentional leadership, will influence you to really look hard at who you are. And as you look hard at who you are, and honestly, as you work hard on yourself, then working on everything outside of yourself is going to become so much easier because you are looking at yourself, you are being honest with yourself, and you're changing the paradigm through which you live and through which you lead. So be intentional today, my friend, okay? Be intentional, make those changes starting now and every day. I believe you will live a life where you lead like you mean it. Okay? So I'm so glad you've joined me. Thank you. Do some homework, okay, in the next 7 days. Work on yourself. Write those things out. And then make sure you like the video, share it with others. We're going to come back live next Wednesday, 12 o'clock, right here on the Facebook page of Christian Center Church. I appreciate you so much. I'm here for you. Let's live a life where we lead like we mean it.